Hi everyone, it's Gary Sarah here. Happy New Year! I hope you had a great holiday season and that you enjoyed the festivities and had an awesome time with family and friends. Let's take a look at the 2018 overview and also the December numbers in real estate. So if we look at the home sales for 2016 to 2018, we'll see that for 2018, total home sales were 24,619 homes. That shows a 31.6% decrease from 2017 and a 38.4% decrease from 2016. Pretty significant numbers, but not surprising in that 2016 and 17 were very frenetic and busy markets, and we are kind of now going back to what is more of a normalized market. If we look at the month of December, home sales were 1,072, and that represents a 33.3% decrease from November of 2018 and a 46.8% decrease from December 2017. Again, pretty significant numbers here. The first one here for December of last year, not surprising, the market was crazy then, and we are seeing a significant change in the demand, and that's part of being in a shifting market now. In November to December, again, not surprising in the sense that from November to December, typically seasonally, we slow down in December. People are getting ready for the holidays, going away, focusing their attentions on Christmas and New Year's. So we do usually see a bit of a decrease, maybe not that much. Moving on, if we look at homes currently listed, for December, there were 10,275 homes listed. This represents a 16.5% decrease from November of number of homes listed, which actually is good news, less supply, and a 47.7% increase from December of 2017. Again, a significant increase, almost 50%, but again, not surprising in the fact that in December 2017, there was almost no supply. Everything that was coming on the market was selling within a week, and the buyer demand was extremely, extremely high. If we look at what the market definitions are in terms of a seller's market, a balanced market, or a buyer's market, a seller's market of sales to active ratio is anything over 20%. A balanced market is anything between 12 and 20%, and a buyer's market is anything below 12%. So based on that formula, let's take a look at the numbers. For December 2018, the sales to active ratio for condos was 14.2%. So obviously that is balanced. If we look at townhomes, we are at 12%, right on the cusp of balanced going into buyers. Detached homes are well into buyer's market at 7.1%, and the combined ratio is 10.4%. So again, in the lower spectrum of balance. If we compare that to November, condos were at 17.6%, townhomes were at 14.7%, detached homes were at 8.9%, and the combined ratio was 13.1%. If we look back, if we compare that to December, you'll see that the numbers are trending downward. Again, that's part of what's happening right now in the market with the market shifting, but part of it is also seasonal in that December is always usually a slower month. Moving on from that, if we look at an overview of benchmark price for Metro Vancouver in 2018, the current benchmark price in Metro Vancouver for all property types and Metro Vancouver in general is $1,032,400. Now this represents a 2.7% decrease from December 2017. So not a large decrease because the market has gone up and then it's now kind of corrected down a bit, but we did see a slight decrease actually in benchmark price. Mainly that was from the first half of the year. I would say January to about June, the market continued to go up and up and up, and then we started to see some corrections from the summer onward. If we look at the numbers in each category of housing, detached benchmark decreased 7.8% from 2017. Condo benchmark price decreased 0.6% from December 2017, and townhouse benchmark price decreased 1.3% from December 2017. So when you look at this, definitely you can see that the detached market is the one that's taken the biggest hit, and certainly every neighborhood will be different. This is a very generalized overview, but overall, getting close to 10% correction on the detached market. Condos have very slightly changed. However, we are seeing some changes in the market right now for sure in pricing. And finally, townhouses 1.3%. So again, not as substantial as the others. One example I want to give you with condos, for example, we have a property listed right now in Coquitlam in a beautiful luxury high-rise on the 39th floor. That property, we went to market middle of November, and the unit right next door sold middle of latter part of October for $553,800. We listed at $549 middle of November. We still have not sold. We've done a price adjustment of $515, and there's another unit for sale in the building a few floors down at $509. So based on that, which is close to the $500,000 range, that represents about a 10% price correction that we're seeing in that building. And so, and we've seen that in others as well. So we're definitely seeing in some areas and in some property types that the corrections are more significant even in the condo market. Let's look at the market highlights for December from the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver for each housing type. For detached, the benchmark price was 1.479 and average days on market was 56 days. If we look at November, how does that compare? 1.5 million, 155 days on the market. So again, trending downward somewhat. If we look at townhouses, the benchmark price was $809,700 and average days on market was 44 for December. If we look at November, $818,500 and 40 days on the market. So higher price and less days on market in both categories so far. If we go back to December with apartments or condos, average benchmark price was $664,100 and average days on market was 41 days. If we compare that to November, we're seeing $667,800 and 34 days on the market. So overall, in all property types, trending downward, and again, same sort of vein of thought that we've been talking about. What does this all mean? So again, to reiterate some of the things that I've been saying for the last probably 4 months, is it's a really great time to move up in the market. If you're thinking to go from a condo to a townhouse or an attached property to a detached property, fantastic time. We're actually working with several clients right now that we sold them into condos or townhomes early, a few years back, and they're now looking at going into a detached type property because you're benefiting from the discounting on the higher price point. If you're thinking of selling, timing and pricing is everything. The example I just gave you earlier of the client that we have with the property in Coquitlam, literally if we had listed even 3 weeks prior, she probably would have sold for almost $50,000 more. That's not necessarily typical, but it's really an indication of how the market is literally a moving target, and every month or every even week is making a difference. So the one thing that we're telling all of our clients now is that timing is everything, and pricing is everything. If you don't price well right from the beginning and you kind of chase the market down, the longer you sit, the less you're worth. If you're thinking of buying, awesome time. There's less competition. You can do your due diligence, do home inspections, and have subjects for financing and review strata documents if it's a condo and what have you. And definitely there's some very good deals out there as well, in certain situations. So definitely a much better market for buyers. And in a shifting market, strategies at everything when it comes to selling. So again, pricing, not only pricing, but proper staging, how the property shows, proper marketing. We definitely have to go above and beyond these days in terms of selling, and our clients have certainly seen the efforts that we take in terms of getting their homes sold in a short time for the most amount of money. It's not about just throwing it on MLS anymore and expecting a sale. I hope that all of this helps you guys. If you have any questions, reach out. You can either reach out to me on my contact information or DM me online, and I hope to talk to you soon, and have a great January.